10 minutes, I would like to spend in 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes in each area. So 5 minutes, I would like to talk on the Mukti, how it is working, and what is the philosophy behind it. And in another 5 minutes, definitely about the COVID, and especially in Sundarban, how we are working. And in 5 minutes, definitely we can spend time on that. And आने वाला दिन में mean going forward, how we can address the issues, especially the post-COVID scenario. So I am going to share with you one slide. Here is a philosophically the mukti is little different. I consider the organization we build up. We understood that whatever problem today in developing countries, especially in India, which we have, that because we have serious lack in talent, right talent in the right place, especially for politics and society or socio-economic development. That because all the top class students, they normally themselves they go for doctorate in medicine, or they study medicine, doctor, engineers, or PhD holder, or they go and they establish themselves and they are engaged with industry. That's why the industry is flourishing, right? But we see very little top level talent actually are engaged with the grassroots level and society level who are working. There is a clear gap, and it was not there earlier. So that because it's 10 probably come in last 30, 40 years, and that's why probably there is a big gap. And that exactly we are trying to solve. How we are doing, we call it kind of entrepreneurship model. So we encourage the people, whoever is doing whatever in their professions, but find some time for our needy society. We just our society do not need money, but we need their quality time. So that is exactly the philosophy. And that way we engage many people with us and we are working in the grassroots level. Our missions is that we are working especially in the health, education, agriculture, livelihood, environment and rights and governance area. We call it called healer. Mukti is a healer to society. So that way we talk. Here is a glance how we can talk about the Mukti. I'm not going to reading out the entire slide, but important thing is that we have a policy called the lean infrastructures policy. It's mean we do not gather more resources in organization level in respective of building or assets. We give up in the service, or we give everything to our beneficiaries. However, and that because keeping in mind that if we keep on gathering resources inside the organizations, then actually that create a lot of organizational hassle in going forward, because many vested interest people come in and they actually trying to divert the organization's philosophy. So that is, we strictly maintain that. We have 600 plus volunteers, as I said. So they are well established in their life, what they are contributing for the societies we are doing. We have all the legal status, we have the experience in all 6 areas. And especially we are operating in Sundarban, and it is a ecological fragile area. So in last 10 years, we have seen so many calamities, especially the Isla you might have seen, we might have heard in between the Bulbul and before that Pony kind of cyclone came. And now the Amphan came and it's 185 kilometers, it's a super cyclone and it's going through it. The Sundarban, which I am going to describe, and the issue which we are actually dealing, it's not just COVID, it's actually deadly situations. In November, there is a Bulbul 140 kilometers cyclone went through, and they destroyed almost the trees and cultivated lands and almost everything. And then from January that COVID came, and when we are dealing with the COVID and in between that Amphan came, and it's a kind of why it is deadly. It's a completely contrast. COVID say that you stay inside the home, you should not come out. And when the cyclone come, you cannot stay inside the home, right? Because you have to come out and take a shelter in a community center. So you have to mix with 100 people, 200 people. So it's a completely contrast. So how a government organization or NGO will deal that kind of a situation, it's a very, very unique problem we are dealing. I'm not sure in the whole world ever experienced this kind of deadly situation, because it's a completely contrast problem in society which we are dealing. So we have completely women. Now I'm coming back to over here in the slide. So women empowerment. In the woman power, we have very high, 46% our benefit, our employees and the volunteers are women, and 61% beneficiaries. We have so many offices and all these, and bus, yeah. So important over here is 96% of our asset, it goes to people, and for 4 to 5% only we return with the infrastructure, and that's all. So here is kind of a the area where we are working. We call it called healer. If you take the first word of all these program area, HEALER, it's called healer. So we call Mukti. Mukti has many meanings, but it can synonym to the healer and healer to society. That's the way we thought, and then we are actually trying to bring the healer in our society. So we have all the numbers. I'm not reading, but few of the things in the health and education, few of the programs which we have and we are going through and we are counting on it. Here is the operating model which we have. So this way actually we organized. We, as you are saying, we have volunteer group in India and outside, but in India we have a significant number of volunteers, and we, including me, I am also a volunteer because I work in some other company and earn my bread and butters, but I am a volunteer over here, which I am working over here. So here actually on the top volunteer, they select or the top level strategic body, but the executive body, they are mostly the employee and few of the dedicated volunteers in the bottom, you know. So we have the health, education, and agriculture, livelihood, environment, and rights area, and we have program in each area. And you know, especially the disaster like Amphan or kind of a these Ayla, it comes, then it cross across. So we need to address the health, education, agriculture, livelihood, every area, right? So the disaster management also, we show for the 3 disaster we handle. So you, on the, that way you can say we are a disaster expert also by this time, and we are addressing across. So definitely we have the other financial and admin department. Now I'm going through couple of our programs very fast. So what we have over here, so that you can so here we have the medical camp we do rigorously, and now even in 10 districts, in 10 blocks of Sundarban, we are currently having rigorously almost daily basis the health camp, and we work in Kerala, and earlier also Ayla we work. So health camp and the health area, we have significant programs as well as we have child daily programs. We have a support school program. It's called, you all know probably who are from NGO background. So we have serious quality gap in government schools. So in morning 3 hours, we deployed the teachers, 100 teachers, and they are teaching kids so that they can do the better result in government school. Instead of opening parallel school, we thought we'll be strengthening government system. So that's our support school systems we are running. We have a talented sponsorship project. So it's exactly like my life. Actually, I am from very poor background, and someone actually sponsored my education. So when I came and thought of doing something, paying back to the society, I thought I'll be replicating myself, and there will be so many people, talented students who are coming out. We will be helping them so that in future they can come back and contribute in the society. So every year, 150 to 200 guys, medicine or engineers, they are studying, and with our sponsorship, 100 people are sending money in one place, and we are sponsoring. So more than 1,200 people we have actually came out, and they are establishing their life in multinational companies and in many segment of the society. So we have called book bank is called, we are actually supporting books or educational material support to kids, and 5,000 kids every year, they are getting support from us. So that is one of the area which we are doing. We have created, after 10 or 12 years of intervention in education, we created so many bekar, you know, so many unemployed, that you all know that is a burning issue, and especially the post-COVID, that's going to be a huge, huge issue. So we have a vocational institute centers. So we call MIT Mukti Institute of Technology, and we say ISO Standard Institute. So we are teaching them how to get job, how to take the livelihood training and get job. We have agriculture's area. We have 8,000 farmers in Sundarban. They started with sustainable agriculture after Ayla, but gradually they became expert in organic farming. So they are now doing an excellent quality of organic vegetables, and we are selling even that in Calcutta. Now today we are the number one chain in Calcutta who are selling vegetables in malls, even in home delivery. At the time of COVID also, we are continuing our delivery. I'll come across on that. We have a women empowerment projects on which we have around 14,000 women participated. They are getting free training and interest-free loan from us. And in this particular time, they are getting interest-free loan, training, and self-employment way, so that they can make themselves independent. So that's going also in a full phase. And we have in salt area where we are working, like in Sundarban, there are large scale coconut plantations where, so that we can abandon land, we can convert it into the greenery, and the coconut is a kind of economical crop. So that's why we are actually converting them. We have a large scale plantation program, so we call it dogging. So that's also growing, and we have right to information project. So that also we are taking care of thousands. So this is the way the project. Another one new innovative ideas which we have is called Mukti community businesses. Community businesses mean the community own the business. So we have, say for example, take the example of Mukti Fresh, who are actually selling the organic vegetables, but the profit will go back to society again. Nobody is making money out of this. Money will go back to the sustainability of the project or sustainability of the organizations. So me or someone is not the owner of this business. So we are lining up so many business one after one, so that in futures, so this business will take the organization as well as the project sustainability point to take it forward. Now coming back in Amphan, what happens? So you know this Amphan in our area is actually is damaged a lot, and that way, you know, so I'm going very fast like this. So a lot of agricultural land is actually flooded with the saline water, and it was a deadly situations, you know. So even the river embankment was breached, and then we are working with the labor we are taking, and we are just making how fast we can rebuild the river environment. So even the cultivative lands also, they cannot cultivate, or we are actually paddy seedling we are preparing so that we can give it to them. So we are working in healthcare as well. So all the school and buildings are already taken away. So we are actually still with the broken and these kind of COVID situations. We are trying our best how what education we can give, because these poor kids, they do not have their internet, and they do not have their device or laptop or anything, right? So how we can actually help them? So that also is a challenge for us. We are trying to take it forward, you know. So that way, so currently we are working with so many blocks and so many GPs and so many budgets, and that's the way we are working. So this is all about from me. Now I'm coming back what we did at the time of COVID to deal with. Look, when this COVID came, then we realized that this is a big time is coming for our work. Like if a war come, then the army has to work over there. If a pandemic come, then the doctor is the army, right? They are the front face. So if this kind of calamity is coming through the society, then who will take it forward? So they have the big responsibility, government and non-governmental organization like us. So we were actually being ready and how we can fight that instead of working from home and sitting at the home. So it was very difficult to convince people to motivate them and to work for the others, because they are scared. They are not like doctor. They don't know how to deal with this situation. They simply was about to wear the mask and sitting at home. But few things we made changes to boost their moral, so that they can work for the hundreds or thousands people, right? What we did, the first day we declared 100% medical insurance to all of our employees and volunteers, just in case anything happened. So that gave them boost. And as well as we told them that if you do not work, if a doctor do not work, a police doesn't work, if a government doesn't work, then who is going to work? You tell me. So the people was initially was a little bit of the hiccup, but then they got motivated, you know, and they jumped in. We gave 100% PP material, whatever kind of a preparation you can think about, we gave to them, and they are using it. what we did, we have two types of employees, little bit of the aged and young employees, right? So what we did is we first segregated these two, and then we asked that guys, young guys should content, they should jump and work. But your old little bit of above 40 or 50, they should stay and work from the office or work from home. They should not go in the front. And we understood that if something happened, at least we can manage. We can manage because mortality rate is very less for the youngs. So that way we manage. And so far, I will tell you, we are not impacted yet, but we cannot give you guarantee that we will not be impacted. But our hundreds of people in the ground and they are working. So protection which we have taken from the day one to last 4-5 months, we are not impacted yet. So far that way we are working. First day we understood when the lockdown came, we understood if the farmers are sitting at home wearing masks, then who is going to feed us? There will be food crisis. So we convince farmer, you take the precaution, do not come at home, but you must go into the field and continue your cultivations. Otherwise, everyone will be starving. So that way we managed. So we continued our farmers' activity and women's activity handicap at the silo, but definitely we continued that. And consider the beneficiaries. We at the beginning we considered each and every beneficiary is a volunteer. We told them, you take the responsibility and you go and actually you take it forward the development of your own area, as it is difficult for us to travel in your area. And we did the decentralized kind of a mechanism where we only were helping the beneficiaries group that they can take forward. I can give you the example. At the time of Amphan, there is a need of supplying food and kind of a community kitchen, you all know, right? Writing in a place and then giving food to 200. But this is not a time of COVID. How you will do that? You will be spreading COVID. So we did kind of 20-30 people one block, and we gave them the food and said that you cook yourself and take an extended family where you just go and you eat. Don't actually make a big chaos in one place and eat. So that way actually we decentralize. And whoever is working in our office, we encourage them to minimize, and we ask them, you have to justify why you are coming office, but at the same time you have to continue your work. So we give them the laptop, mobile, and internet, whatever. That being an IT engineer, so I was actually familiar on that, how to make our working from home. So from beginning, gradually they started working from home, but and even working from home is more beneficiaries. You know, people used to work 8 hours over here, and now they are working even maybe 18 hours from home. So it is more, they are actually the little senior people that are working from home. And the junior people, everyone, we even hired so many bikes, and we had bikes, and we get the fuel so that they can run as fast as possible from here and there. And then, and also we discourage them to walk in or use the public vehicle or public buses so that they will be secured, you know. And we did also the zone separations, the area, so that in one zone should not mix with the other zone. And that way, and then even these food distributions, we made in a systematic way how we kept our material on tables. So there will be 10 tables for 10 different items, and people used to come one by one in the line, and they used to take the material, one material from each table, and then go, instead of giving them in hand and taking photo and posing and giving into Facebook, you know. We discourage that. So that way we somehow actually managed. Why I told all these things, because he wanted to know that in the particular scenario, what are the changes we made inside the organization, and we are continuing our social activity. So these are the changes we made. Now in the last 1 minute, I am going to spend that what we are going to do going forward or aane wala din mein. So we really have a critical time in Sundarban. Sundarban is really a ecological facile, and the people, most of the people there normally they come in Calcutta or many other places. They do services, home services, kind of things, you know. Very less people over there who are actually dependent on cultivation, because the land is depend on rainwater harvesting, and it is only single crop. So these people, feeding them is going to be a big challenge. Because of this pandemic, they are now back in home. They are homeless because of this Amphan and COVID. So they lost their home, and they do not have their job in hand. So they do not have job, they do not have home, they lost everything. Now to feed, is a very difficult. And now again a question, the being organizations like us, we hate of giving dole or kind of a relief for an infinity time. So we have to create job for them and then give food. We call it called food for work, and which is huge challenging, right? The local resource, you have very little land, little place. How we are creating a huge job for them and hosting those people over there and distributing food is a challenging for us, but we have to go for it. So we have a huge job opportunity, job requirement. People are crying. We need to resource, as well as there is a resource crisis. So we are actually trying to balance. So any organizations who would like to work for these kind of critical junctions, happy to do partnership with them and take it forward. With that note, I will thank you to all, and I would like to end over here.